Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin and today I have 13 eyeshadow palettes that I used in the month of July to rank. If you are new to my channel, I upload videos twice a week. It is totally free to subscribe and I would love to have you back again on the channel for all things makeup. We've got a lot of palettes again this month, guys, so we're going to go ahead and get into it. If you are new here, I don't really declutter things. Like, I will use them even if it's not the best. The palette that usually gets marked lowest anytime I use it is lowest in this ranking. It's the Glamlight Ice Cream palette. This one I will say I used it to dupe in an Instagram collab. I did a video too, a Bingo Palette of Shame. I will leave it linked if you haven't seen it. And I actually didn't hate the shades that I used to dupe the Colourpop Misunderstood palette. I really didn't. So I was like, wait a minute. I've always said I've hated this palette. I didn't hate it this month. I liked everything else better still, but it made me go, okay, maybe it's just like inconsistencies within this palette, because I know I used peanut butter and I think pecan praline and salted caramel in that video, and I liked all of those. My complaint usually is with the pastels. They're not pigmented enough. They like kind of wisp away into nothing on me at least. But the shimmers have been fine, and even that matte that I used was fine. So maybe we need to give her another try, but still the lowest this month. Like I said, as far as like what I reach for the most, what I liked the most. And number 12 from Urban Decay is the Stoned Vibes palette. I used this as well in a collab. I think this one was a Throwback Thursday collab on Instagram, if I'm not mistaken. Really special one for me because this was sent to me. I don't get a lot of makeup sent to me, but this one was before release through Influencer, so that made it really special for me. That was how I was able to film a video that I met a lot of cool people on YouTube through, so it's special for me because of that. I don't reach for it very much. I only used it the one time this month when I used it for the collab. I didn't hate the look that I made, but I could definitely tell like the shimmers are drying up and cracking, and this one, she's just got a little bit of age. Again, not getting rid of it. I'll use it again in the future at some point, but not really when I reach for a lot. Number 11 hurts a little because this is a good palette. I just had that good of palettes this month. I don't know what to say. The Blend Bunny Surge palette. This one's no longer available, but it is a good one. It's actually, believe it or not, it's the eyeshadow palette I'm wearing today. You might not see this look and think Surge. I know I don't necessarily, but I used White Hot, Cutout, Grunge, Vinyl, Zip It Up, and Flash. So I kind of stayed in the neutral-esque kind of shades. It's got a little bit of a berry reddish with the grunge shade, but pretty neutral overall. Obviously this is not designed to be too much of a neutral palette, at least to me that's obvious with the neons and things, but I don't really use the neons that much. That's probably my least used row of the whole palette, if I'm being honest. So again, only used it one time this month. Don't dislike it. Good formula. I just don't reach for it a ton. But the quality of these shadows is better than the other two I mentioned so far, which is why it's higher. And number 10 from Lunar Beauty and collabed with, rest in peace, Laura Lee Los Angeles. That brand doesn't exist anymore. This is the Full Fantasy collab palette between Laura and Manny. This one, beautiful quality. It's just kind of a boring color story is why it's here. It's good quality, and I would use all of the shades in this, probably more than Surge, because again, I just don't, in this current stage, phase, vibes of what I've been going for lately, haven't been going for bright neons. This one, however, doesn't like really push the creativity juices very much, so that's why it's not ranked any higher than this. But I still reach for this one more when I'm like, okay, I need a staple go-to, like needs to turn out good, and I'm seeing people kind of a look. I can count on her for that. Number 9 from Glamlight, the Rick and Morty palette. Love the show. It wasn't just me liking the color story when I got this. It is super colorful, which I don't mind. I mean, like, that's part of the show and part of the palette, but I don't go for colorful looks a lot. I did this month, though, do one. I think it was in my last video. If you see the look I'm wearing in the last video I posted, I'll leave it linked in case you haven't seen it. This palette is what I'm wearing in that video. The shimmers are really good. The mattes are okay. I feel like especially some of this row, the like purpley, blurpley shades, they can be a little patchy. But if I build them up and work to blend them, like, it's doable. But not my favorite formula of all time. However, still ranked it higher because it does prime the creative juices a little bit more than what was ranked lower than this. Number 8 from Oden's Eye is their Little Ghost palette in collaboration with Angelica Nyqvist. Here we've got my favorite formula probably so far of the palettes we've talked about, and more of a diverse color story. I like this palette more once I stopped trying to make it Halloween. At first I was like, because it's not really Halloween. And it's not, and I still stand by that, but I was trying to make it Halloween and I didn't like it because it didn't fit the box that I wanted it to in my mind. But when I used this for an out of season collab, I think this is the one I used. Now I'm second guessing myself. It made me look at some of my palettes as far as like, so what could I do that wouldn't be a holiday look with it? And I like it a lot more taking it outside of that Halloween vibe in my mind. I think everything else just has like maybe something a little cooler, a little shiftier, with the exception of one. One I know it's just got one of my favorite matte formulas in it, but this one's good. This one's good. It's just not my most reached for and favorite this month. For 7 from It's Belle, another brand that I don't think exists, or at least isn't open right now, is the Under the Full Moon palette. I was able to snag this one before they closed. I've liked all the looks I've done with this. There is a lot of like gray and blue. I should do something more green. I haven't done that yet. And this one's ranked a little bit higher because I love the texture of the shimmers in this one. I think I like the texture of this formula more than the Oden's Eye shimmers, if I'm being honest. But this does tend to be a bit one note, like everything comes out kind of bluey gray looking, like I said, with the exception of there are a couple golds and one green I haven't played with, so I really should do a look more on that end with those shades, but not as much versatility as some of the other palettes going forward. And number 6, another Oden's Eye palette I brought out for an Instagram collab. This is the Hey Reindeer palette. And I like this one more than the other Oden's Eye one because I just feel like there is more versatility in this one. And while I said I like the shimmer formula more in the It's Belle palette, the mattes in here are really good. Holly, I have used so much. This kind of gray with a little bit of blue in it. I've used that one a ton. And there is still texture in some of these shadows, like this one right here, shade, oh my gosh, what are you? Presence. Note for Oden's Eye. I know other people have said it, but sometimes you cannot read the shade names very well, so I wish they would, like, up here is fine, but the, like, decoration gets in the way of the shade names down here, and you have to kind of, like, at least for me, guys, I'm almost 34, my birthday's next week, can't read the shade names. So this one, very versatile. I've taken it on vacation before. You can go red, orange, blue, purple, gold. Like, there's just a lot of options here. None of which I feel are Christmas, by the way, which again, I like this more when I realized, oh, I can use it year round and I'm not going to get a holiday look out of it, but that's okay if you're not expecting that. Everything else I think just has something a little special where it's, whether it's shifty shades or exceptional formulas that made it ranked higher. So our top 5 from Fantasy Cosmetica in number 5 is the Fighter palette. This Fervor shade I think is my favorite red shimmer in my collection because it is not just a full-on bright primary like my shirt red. It is more of a, I don't want to say muted because that makes it seem like it's not pigmented, metallic, maybe is the word for it. Like it's got a little bit of almost like a silver mixed in with it, but it is so pretty with the rest of these. Glory 2 has this like blue to gray to red shift in it that is so pretty. Cavalier I've used quite a lot. Again, another gray shade. This is like a perfect like neutral with a twist palette for me personally. If I'm gonna do a neutral with a twist, this is the palette I want. Something that's got some shiftiness to it and a little bit of fun. But because it's only a 9 pan, it does limit the versatility, even though this one is pretty versatile for a 9 pan. And number 4 is the Mercury Retrograde from Huda Beauty, another Throwback Thursday I brought out. This one, I really love the mattes. There's only one other in this ranking that I love the mattes for even more, but these mattes are great. The shimmers aren't all my favorite. The ones that are like textured shimmers, like you can see here, great. But there are some that are really smooth, like this one here, that I don't think are as impressive. So if they were all the textured shimmers, this could have been bumped up into the top 3. But with it being diversified textures, which I understand, like some people like different things and a lot of people like having multiple different textures of shimmers in the same palette, that knocked it down for me personally. But I love the color story, and again, the mattes are just some of the best mattes I've ever used. Top 3. Okay, now, while Huda is some of the best mattes I've ever used, some of the best is not the best. The best mattes, Blend Money. This is the Dollhouse. Yes, she is discontinued. I've heard the Ellis Volume 2 collab that just got announced has a similar color story if you missed out on this one. So maybe look at those mattes if you weren't able to snag this one. This is like a perfect everyday palette for me. It's got some color and neutrals, but everything's muted color. And this is something I can wear on an everyday basis and still get some color. So the color story also makes it go up for me because it's got more versatility in color than, let's say, the Full Fantasy I showed you earlier. Also more shades, so of course there's going to be more versatility. And I do like it when Blend Bunny does the gradients by column, personally, versus their like sickly sweet version of like scattered jumbled all over color story. I prefer this personally. This is also before they improved their shimmer formula, but I've never had a problem with their original shimmer formula. I thought it was nice and fine, but the mattes are truly exceptional. And the fact that it is also neutral with a twist, but with better mattes than the other stuff I've ranked so far, made it number 3 this month. Now, if that's gonna be number 2, right, best mattes with a twist, or sorry, that's gonna be number 3, then number 2 is also Blend Bunny. This is the Machina palette. Also unavailable. Sorry, there's so many unavailable palettes this month. That's just how it goes sometimes when I rank old versus new. This one also has the same impeccable matte formula, but we've got more depth, we've got more color, and we've got the improved shimmer formula, and we've got Cyborg. Cyborg is one of the most incredible shades in my entire collection. It is an iridescent, glowing, bioluminescent blue. I'm telling you, like, when people see this shade in photos, they automatically go, that's Cyborg. You know it, because it's that unique and that cool of a shade that it really bumps up the whole ranking of everything in the palette. It's a color story. I originally said, what would I even do with that? And then when I saw some looks was like, oh, so cool, so cool. So this one I pull a lot, like a shade here, a shade there, a companion palette, honestly. But I pull it so much in conjunction with other stuff, and it is such high quality, I put it number 2. There's only one thing that could beat Blend Bunny out this month, and it's from Electrum Cosmetics. If you haven't seen it, I will leave it linked, but it's some of the best shimmers of any brand. So I've got a video that goes over like all my favorite shimmers from different brands. This is one of them. This is the Dark Winter palette. So we do have more mattes than shimmers, but it's a wide variety of mattes, right? We've got purple, blue, there's kind of like a beigey neutral color, green, berry, teal, brown, And then we've got this middle transformative row of shimmers that it really depends what you put it with, what it looks like. This one that says Gray All Day looks kind of green in pan, and I'll leave linked my video where I did like 2 looks with this palette. It came out looking more like red on the eye. And then Ira looks more purple. There's some green shift. Winter is like the coolest shade, I think, in this palette. It's also kind of like a red, but with like a blue base to it. It's so cool, so unique. And Winter wins. I think Crisp is the only shimmer I didn't use that probably will actually be green if I had to guess. Doesn't look like it shifts blue or red instead in the pan. But such a cool, versatile palette. I love palettes like this where it totally depends what mattes you pair the shimmers with as to which way they're gonna flip or be more apparent, like which color's gonna show more, and it gives you so many more options. Even though it's only 5 shimmers, like it's like you have more shimmers because of the duality of the different shifts in it. So yeah, that's my number 1 this month. Let me know what you guys think. Are you surprised by anything in my ranking? Would you have done it differently? What was your best and or worst palette of July? I would love to hear from you in the comments below. Thanks so much if you made it all the way to the end of the video, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Bye!